Thanks, Gregor. Hey, Connor. There's so much going on in the outside world today as you guys get ready to start the season tomorrow, from the pandemic to, I guess, threats to democracy in your country. How much attention do you pay to that outside world, and how is it affecting you going into the season?
I don't want to answer any political questions. I'm here today to talk about hockey and how I'm going to help this team succeed and how we have been building this entire camp towards a Stanley Cup contending team. So I'm excited that we start tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to our matchups.
Go next to Jeff Hamilton from the Free Press. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Connor, you've had a pretty good seat in training camp so far to see, how the club's been working. Just wondering what your feelings are heading into Thursday, and how, what you've seen over the last couple of weeks that has you feeling pretty good about starting this season.
Yeah, I'm extremely excited to start. Our offense has been scoring very, very diligently, and I feel like our defense and I have come together, and we have a great understanding back there. So I like what I'm seeing. We have a lot of energy. We're definitely in shape, beyond in shape, and the guys are scoring, and we're doing our job defending. So I'm really excited to see what it looks like in a real game where you get those real adrenaline rushes and the real game juices going.
We'll go next to Murat Tatesh from The Athletic. Go ahead, Murat.
Hi, Connor. Thanks for doing this. In a league where goaltenders are splitting starts more and more, you're unique in that you play a lot of games and you found a way to excel throughout playing a lot of games. How do you attribute that? Where does that come from? What is special about what you've been able to do?
Well, I think a lot of it is having the right people around me and realizing when it's time to rest and when it's time to get better. Growing up through my career, I've always worked hard and tried to play as much as I can. I have a track record of playing a lot, and just being here, I like to get into a rhythm and a flow. And I think with my game, it's not overly excessive. I don't exert a ton of energy and when I don't need to. So I stay quiet in the net, and it allows me to not waste any energy. So I can play more games than, I guess, the average goalie right now.
Go next to Kelly Moore from CJOB. Go ahead, Kelly.
Hey, Connor, I know when we spoke to you, I can't remember whether it was day 1 or day 2 of training camp, one of the things you said that really stood out, and I'm going to try to go for a 2-for-1 special here, was that a key for you was developing your patience and getting it for the start of the season to where it would be at the end of the season. And also maybe if you could just expand a little bit on when you said you really liked how the defense had performed in camp. What are the differences that you've seen in camp, maybe say compared to last season with the defense?
Yeah, so I really like where my patient's at, and I think it's only going to get better. I'm very comfortable in my crease right now, in my depth, and I think that's a big part of it. And once I get those competitive game juices going, it's just a whole new level, and it just heightens everything. So if I like where I'm at now during the game, I think I'm going to love it. And to speak to the defense, we're communicating very well. We're understanding our roles, and we're not being shy with each other. We kind of have to trust each other, and we are in our roles, trusting that the other person is going to handle their role. And if something negative does happen, it's not in a negative effect at all. We know that we expect out of each other the roles that we are going to be playing. And I think that's what's making us so so strong moving forward here.
Go next to Ted Wyman from the Winnipeg Sun. Go ahead, Ted.
Hey, Connor, it's been a few months, but really the last team you faced was Calgary, and now you face them again tomorrow. What about the series that you had against them stood out for you that you needed to fix, and do you think you have fixed those things?
I think you kind of have me for a loss of words there, because there's not one thing that I wanted to really address. I liked my series. It wasn't good enough to win. So I guess making myself in the compete level where I can win. I liked a lot of things from that series, but it was also in the middle of the summer, and there's no excuses. We lost a lot of injuries, and it's a new day and age. It's going to be different teams. We have a couple different players, and it's a different mindset. I'm excited to see exactly where this team is, and from looking at them over practice, I feel very confident in this group.
We'll go next to Ken Weeb from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Ken.
Thanks, Connor. What's the biggest benefit to having a goalie partner that you're familiar with as you go into a compressed schedule here?
Well, it's nice because we do all the same things, so it's not we're both trying to get what we want out of practice. It's we can help each other. We build each other's confidence up, and we build each other's games up because one day I'm working on something and I tell him what I found, and then the other day he's working on something and tells me something that he found. So it's really nice, and we're very similar goaltenders and able to help each other's game in the details part, not just driving each other and trying to make each other work harder. It's more fine-tuning things, and we're working smart.
We'll go next to Sarah Orleski from TSN. Go ahead, Sarah.
Thanks, Connor. Just following up with more about the Flames. I mean, they've obviously seen a bunch of changes to their roster since you guys saw them in the play-in series. What are you expecting in the first game of the season?
Well, it seems to be different every year. I've seen first games end up in shutouts, and I've seen first games end up in 10-goal games. It's what I expect is I think this 10-day training camp has been very good for everyone, especially for us. So I think it's whoever manages their bodies well enough to have a little jump on energy-wise. And I expect it to be a tight game because with 56 games and it's all in the division, there's no nights you can take off or just kind of write off and say, well, the next one's going to be twice as important. Now, every single night is very important. It's going to have that playoff feel. So I expect the playoff feel right from day one.
We'll go next to Sean Reynolds from Sportsnet. Go ahead, Sean.
Hey, Connor. Do you expect it to, you talked a little bit about it there, but do you expect it to be like every other opener to the season, or based on them being the last team that you played and maybe a little bit of bad blood? Do you feel like that bad blood's going to carry over at all?
Well, I hope it does a little bit. We got beat in that series, and I'm still bitter about it to this day because I want to win, and they ruined our chances at a Stanley Cup. So for me personally, I'm going to use it as motivation, and yeah, I'm a little angry that they ruined it for us. I mean, they're a good team, so hats off to them. They played a good series, but I think it'd be crazy for us not to use it to try to get a little jump on the energy wise.
And we'll end off with Murat Tatesh once again. Go ahead, Murat.
Hey again, wanted to sneak this one in. I'm wondering who can we blame for that ice pack, and do you need us to write any angry columns about any one of your mates?
This is one of the reasons I say the offense is shooting well and they're scoring. This one is Kyle Connor, and I made the save, but it took a big bruise, so I'm just a little maintenance here and there, so I can have nothing to worry about tomorrow.